are a podcast that talks about anime, and we are going to talk about an anime called Charlotte. This anime is my pick. We on this podcast, we kind of rotate through our picks. So basically, every month we're going to try to do an anime review, and we're going to rotate through so each of us gets a chance to force each other to watch a show. And for this month, I've chosen to force my co-hosts, Cole and Jay, to watch the 2015 anime known as Charlotte, written by Jun Maeda of Angel Beats fame, which might come up a few times during this, and it's done by Studio PA Works. And I think usually how we do our reviews is we start off by talking about our OP, our ED. Then we'll go into talking about like the sound and voice acting in it. Then we'll kind of talk about the visuals, all of this spoiler free. And then we'll kind of give our final thoughts and just like overall grand big picture stuff. It's all spoiler free for the first half, so don't be afraid. You can listen to this part if you haven't watched the show, you're all good. And then we're going to say who we recommend it to. Then, and only then, will we start talking spoilers. We're going to give you a big spoiler warning. We're going to talk about the plot and all that stuff and all the characters, all the crazy stuff. And then we're going to say what we consider the anime to be, how we rate it. Basically, it's a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being a protagonist, 1 being an antagonist, 3 being a background character. And that's just, that's just the AniPro way, baby. So,
it's just the way we do things.
Yeah. Without further ado, we've also added a new thing to our list where we are going to try to, at the beginning, we're going to say what we think each other thought of the anime based on just knowing each other as friends. So, Cole, I think you probably hated this anime because it's just the way it is. Just everything about this anime just seems like something Cole wouldn't like. Jay, I think you liked this anime a lot because you've watched it before, but I think... probably on the second watch, maybe it lost a little bit of luster for you.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that for Jay. For Mike, I think you were really into it, but it didn't quite live up to the hype that you maybe thought it would for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think?
I think Cole heavily disliked it. And Mike, honestly, this could be either way. I think Mike liked it, but it wasn't I loved it. It was just it was good.
Yeah, I'm definitely the wild card on this one. I think this is the type of show that I purposely picked this one because I knew it would kind of elicit the full range of emotions from us, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So now that we've got
how do we actually feel about this show?
Yeah. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about that.
Now
OP.
that we got the
Talk some OP and ED.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the OP. Let's start with the OP, the opening for this television program. The OP basically kind of boils down how I feel about it. Not a terrific OP. There are things that I don't like about it, but it has a really cool part in the OP.
Is it the part when they're all
Is that the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge
the
when they all start when she does her little dance and there's people swinging from the ceiling and stuff?
Yeah, that's such a cool
that's
part.
The best part.
Cool
that's
part.
the best part of the OP.
The rest of the OP is just classic. The rest of the OP reminded me of something I don't know how to describe it. A lot of anime OPs do this thing where they'll how can I say this? It reminded me of a KyoAni OP.
Okay.
The way the singing is in it, where the singer is just vibrato crazy, and it's, I don't know, it's fine, but the bridge in it is so cool.
The bridge is so good. I gotta agree with that, Cole.
Mm-hmm. But it's so different. That's why I think it really strikes me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just, and it's cool because you get to see them doing the little dances and stuff. And there's lots of flashing things, and it's just neat to see. Yeah.
And it's all to the beat of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the OP. Like Cole said, I didn't think it's not going to be one that I seek out and watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. It's good.
There is one time the OP is played where it's super jarring, which I think we'll get into in spoilers.
Yeah.
Something really heavy happens in the show, and then it cuts to this happy OP where the protagonist is super smug, and it's wow, this is a right turn from where we just were in the show.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be our running theme here.
It just struck me as very strange.
Yeah. Oh, one cool little bit of trivia though about the OP is, did you know that it was actually like written and composed by the guy who wrote the whole show too, Jun Maeda?
That doesn't surprise me.
No, that doesn't surprise me either.
Music plays a big factor in this show.
Yeah. He likes music, and he writes music and stuff like that too. And honestly, this OP was very Angel Beats as well, which again is going to be a running theme throughout this review.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the writer of this also wrote all the songs in it.
He did.
I knew it. I knew it.
And it kind of sounded like just going into like
it says all tracks are written by him, and then on the second part for the band that's in the second part, the Zind or whatever, he wrote the lyrics but didn't do the music.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess this is kind of like soundtrack, so we can kind of save this.
Yeah. Oh, right. Good point. Yeah. But
let's touch on the EDs.
Yes.
EDs plural for this. I like the one with main girl.
What's her name? Now. Yeah.
Now. Yeah. I like the one with her. The other one with the like idol girl didn't really do much for me.
Yeah.
I think spoilers for my best girl.
For me, honestly, I don't think any of them really did it for me, but it just...
I liked the song of the ED, but the visuals are just, it's just your classic, like...
It was just like a slideshow.
Yeah. I could see myself, I will say, it was a good slideshow. I could see myself putting some of these pictures in the slideshow, like as like a wallpaper. Because how I have my laptop, I have like basically a slideshow of pictures, like anime pictures. I could see some of these making it into that list of like backgrounds for my computer.
It's a very pretty show.
Yeah, the whole show is
very pretty show.
It is very nice to look at.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the visuals.
I think we keep like skipping.
Yeah.
Now we'll backtrack and go back to sound, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about the ED.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, I don't know if you guys thought this as well, but like at the very beginning at least, I got this this is clearly written by a visual novel guy.
Yes. That's why I had a feeling Jay might like this show, because it just feels very visual novel, light novel-y kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, the way that the plot works and like the way that the arcs work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely felt very level-ish.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about sound and voice acting.
We're so ADD this episode.
No. I'm just thinking like in terms of like the soundtrack and everything. Like the soundtrack sounded like you're playing a visual novel and this is the background noise that's going on while you're playing it.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think the sound and the actual like music of this show, while at some point, like Cole said, are kind of jarring a little bit, I thought the sound was really well done throughout the whole thing. Like all the backing tracks and everything, all like were good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I liked, for sure. Like nothing stood out to me as like very jarring in terms of just the sound design of the show. But like honestly, in terms of sound design, the show is pretty grounded.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about kind of superpowers and stuff, but it's the superpowers themselves don't like make weird noise.
Like no like JoJo like reverb or anything.
That's true, actually.
No weird like One Piece goofy noises.
No, it was pretty like, I don't want to say realistic, but realistic, I guess. And like even down to like the way like their abilities have downsides, like they're not good, if that makes sense. That felt realistic too. But I don't know if there's really that much to say about the sound in this show. Like it's just,
well, I do want to give a shout out. It's just
solid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now's Seiyu is one of my favorite voice actresses.
Oh right, yeah, they do have voice actors we can talk about.
Yes.
Who is that, Cole?
That is it Akane Sakura, who also voices Yotsuba Nakano.
Oh.
If you guys didn't notice, that's Yotsuba's voice.
No, you guys didn't ask me your patented question that you ask every review.
That's what I was gonna ask. Did you watch sub or dub, Michael?
Well, listen.
Yes.
On this show, listening. Charlotte, my pick for this review, I watched both. So I watched. I started it in dub, and then I was like, the dub's fine. Let's see if the sub is like really good. And I didn't think. I honestly, like, having switched back and forth between them, they were the same. I really didn't notice too much of a difference between them. So I just kind of I watched it dubbed just for convenience.
They were fine.
Okay.
I didn't think the sub was anything spectacular. I didn't think the dub was anything spectacular.
That's kind of how I felt. Like, even and this goes into the soundtrack that I was saying. Like, when I was listening to the dialogue, it sounded like, it sounded like I was playing a visual novel.
Yeah. It was a little, like a little wooden for like both of them.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like not bad, but yeah, I definitely agree with Jay. Like it did feel like you're playing a C budget video game or something.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys hated the voice acting.
Okay, no. There was one that stood out to me, and it was the Noodles guy.
What?
Very random pick.
What?
The Noodles guy?
What? Who's the Noodles guy?
Remember when the main character and that girl, I don't want to spoil things, but like she was like asking him to go have noodles, so they go to this restaurant that didn't actually sell noodles, but like he was like, okay, this will be good enough.
Oh.
And then there was the guy that like was basically their server.
No, they went to what's that dish called? Like the pancake
Okonomiyaki, I think it's called or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That place?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the voice actor for the waiter is one of my favorite seiyuu, Tomokazu Sugita.
What a wild pick.
Who plays Joseph Joestar, Gintaki from Gintama.
Oh,
many
Gintaki.
Rudy's like the Rudy's like narrator voice.
Yeah.
From
Older,
Mushoku Tensei. Love him. So he stood out to me.
He's good. Yeah, I like him as a voice actor. I didn't notice that was him though, but it makes sense. He usually plays like goofy.
Yeah,
goofers.
he's usually the goofy guy.
Yeah. Let's go into visuals, which I already mentioned. This is a very pretty show. This is definitely
PA Works definitely flexed a little bit on this one. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of just like the character designs, everybody's very, very cute.
Yep.
And yeah.
I kind of, going back to what Jay said too about like the visual novel stuff, even like the way everybody looks feels very visual novel-y.
Right?
Like,
right?
You can really tell it.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that this guy works on visual novels like often.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, did he design all of them, or who designed all these people? Because I don't even really know. Because like the other,
I think it's done by Key. Key is like the studio that does like all the visual novels.
Yeah, and then that Jun Maeda guy, he came
Yeah.
up with that studio, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think he was like one of the co-founders or something.
Yeah.
But regardless,
it says
so like he
Naga did the designs. He worked on visual novels such as Canon, Air, and Clannad, among others.
Those are all of Key's visual novels.
Yeah. That makes sense. The characters are pretty they look like that.
Yes, yes, exactly. They're all
very big eyes.
I will say they're all
very
they
big.
all look
they
good
like,
though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They gave the little sister. I don't know if you picked up on this, but like she had like bigger eyes than everyone else.
I think she has a smaller face.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Well,
you're right.
she's the chibiest one of them all.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Michael thinks of the little sister. She's got definitely Protect energy for sure.
I liked her, but I could see. I definitely saw, like, when I was doing my research on this show, I definitely saw some people do not like her very much just because they find her annoying.
I can honestly understand that.
I can understand it too, but I did like her.
I liked her.
I liked her too, but I can definitely see the hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those haters just gonna hate.
Main guy Yu Otosaka definitely has like the standard like protagonist look to him. But I think that where they really hit this out of the park with design is probably now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
she's for sure.
Sure. There's a reason she's like. I honestly thought she was the main character of the show before we watched it.
I thought she was Charlotte. I really
thought
did.
She was the titular Charlotte.
I really did, honestly.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I can
see
why.
So too.
Yeah. But she is not. Her name is now Tamori. But anything like even the backgrounds and just like the animation and like the shots in this show look good too. Like the one thing
nothing that really stood out to me. I just don't think it looked bad, which is good.
Yeah, it didn't look bad.
I didn't say it looked great or amazing. I just said it looked good. There was like definitely like when it needed to, it didn't disappoint. Like I'm thinking back to like anytime that like fast boy, the guy who's Jojiro? Jojiro?
Yeah.
Yes. The character who made me realize that there is another trope that I dislike.
What's that?
The guy with the glasses who's a goofy goober, except every now and then he'll like push his glasses up and be serious for a second. And then like they'll be like, "What? What did you say?" And then he's like, "Oh, just kidding." Like the guy with the glasses in Toradora.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like that-
yeah.
Yeah, I realize now that is a trope that I usually dislike, and it happens all the time. It's always some guy with like blue-black hair and glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when he was first introduced, and I guess we'll get into this.
Yeah, this is kind of, we're talking characters, but
yeah, we're jumping all over the place today.
It's okay.
We are gonna go into our spoiler-free thoughts.
Oh no, I didn't finish my thought.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, anytime that he like did his little like speed thing, like whenever he used his power, and kind of in general, whenever people use their powers, it kind of looked good. You know what I mean? Like whenever the main character did his like chaos, and whenever like the blue-haired glasses guy did his like speed thing, I don't know, just the way that they did it, like it actually had kind of like it had enough impact to it where it worked. Does that make sense?
It had enough of a visual cue that you knew that the power was going on.
Yeah, and it didn't look cheesy either.
Yeah.
So like they did a good, like PA Works definitely did a good job of getting everybody like to look and act good, I guess, or at least look good, I would say.
Yeah.
No, like I said, like the absence of bad things is a good thing in this show.
Yeah.
Like it's just solid. It's just solid.
Yeah.
And we'd be remiss to not mention the backgrounds and the starry skies that they're just everywhere in this show.
Oh yeah.
That definitely, like the stars and stuff, seems like it was supposed to be something important, which now I can get into my spoiler-free thoughts and
spoiler-free thoughts.
Start to finally say my true feelings on the show. This show doesn't know what it wants to do. I'm getting pulled in 1,000 different directions through the whole show.
Right?
It doesn't. It's going one way, and it's
all over the road.
It's kind of telling a decent story there, and then it's just like, never mind, forget about that. Now we're going to talk about this, and then now we're going over here and doing this. Yeah, it's a wild ride.
It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Like it's enjoyable, and I did enjoy it. It's just kind of like there's too much going on. Like this show is like honestly, I wonder with this show if it was supposed to be like 2 cores. And then they just like, he found out halfway through, they're like, honestly, it's not 2 cores. And then he's like, oh crap. And then he just decided to put it all in it.
It doesn't even feel like if they had extended it, it would be better. It just like, it feels it has multiple different ideas that just don't all mesh together.
I feel like the first half of the show is solid. Like genuinely solid.
I liked the first half as well, like how it was kind of slice of lifey and like just seeing them do their little zany antics and like building the characters and stuff. I thought that was good. I liked that. I
really liked the start of the show where we get introduced to this character who has these abilities, and it establishes him in this school and him getting the girlfriend and him being like kind of a jerk. And then it takes away all of these things that we think make him special. And kind of reveals that no, he like there's a bunch of people like him, and then like he loses this girlfriend, he loses his standing in the school.
Spoiler-free thoughts, Cole.
It's episode 1, Mike.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah.
That is the setup for the show.
Yeah,
I kind of disagree, just because like I could not stand the main character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like. He was so annoying from like how he was like, oh, I'm gonna drive this, like take control of this guy driving the car so I can steer it into a girl so I can save her life.
Right.
And then like, what?
Yeah.
And then like, so like I hated him from moment 1 because like he's a terrible person.
No, I agree.
I think that's kind of the point of him though, but I think we're getting a little too into the plot of it.
Yeah.
Which is like what we talk about in the second part, right?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is it takes this idea of like inverting what you think is going to happen, and it just runs wild with it through the rest of the show. Yeah. Like it loses the plot without
Yeah. So I think we all kind of agree. I think we're all kind of like it's good, but it's also like it just needs.
It's flawed.
Like it's definitely flawed.
I wouldn't call it good.
Anyway, but like
I wouldn't call it good, but
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But realistically, like I guess my final spoiler-free thoughts are like I think it's a good show. I do think it's worth watching. It has glaring problems and like things that definitely there are like I don't like how they do this. I don't like how they do that. I don't like the way this is. I do think it's paced insanely. Like the first half is like really slow, and then the second half is like breakneck speed, and like a million things happen. Like the final episode is insane how much stuff happens in one episode. And then considering the first 5 episodes, they were just like kind of chumming around, and then all of a sudden it's just, I don't know.
That final episode probably could have been a season, to be fair.
For sure, yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it's definitely worth watching, and I would recommend it to people who, if you liked Angel Beats, watch this. It's just basically like a slightly worse Angel Beats, maybe better Angel Beats. It's definitely, if people that liked Angel Beats will love this show too. It's just more of it, kind of. Cole, do you have any final, or Cole, no, Jay, Cole talked a lot already. Jay, do you have anything else? Spoiler-free thoughts? Just kind of big picture?
Spoiler-free thoughts. I'm probably the one that liked this show the least because I disliked the protagonist the whole way through. So, like, I can probably recommend this to people who like key stuff, like Clannad or Angel Beats or things like that. Or, like, people who like kind of like that, like, shonen drama kind of thing might like this.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, I didn't like when I was watching this show, I literally said to myself, what was I thinking back in 2016 when I first watched it?
Yeah, because you said you liked this show when you watched it before, right?
I did like it when I first watched it, but like it was like a complete 180.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And Cole?
For recommendations, I honestly don't know who I'd recommend this to.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
I genuinely don't know who. I think people should watch it. I think whether you watch it as something that is so bad it's good. No, I wouldn't even say that it's like that. It's just kind of.
It's not horrible. Like it's good.
I would
it's
watch
entertaining.
If you are in like a film class or something and learning how to write a script, watch this so that you know what not to do in terms of pacing.
Yeah, that's probably,
honestly, that's true.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good in here. It's just they didn't know how to do it properly, I think.
That's a good way to put it.
Or they were rushed through it.
It's kind of like the parts are all good and they just kind of like didn't put them together properly.
Or it's like the amalgamation of like a bunch of different ideas that were bouncing around in the writer's head, and he just kind of threw them all out there and like
seeing what sticks, basically.
Yeah.